here we go. Bulletproof mindset. Create the daily habits to move you towards your true potential. Provide you ideas for overcoming the challenges in every area of your life, because with every new goal, with every new target, there are new challenges and new obstacles. And you've got to know, A, that they're going to happen, and B, you're going to have the plan to conquer them, kick them. In our world, we kick them, punch them, knock them right out of the box, right? In everyone else's world, I don't know what they do. But we want to teach them to live in our world and just knock them and punch them right in the face, okay? And then we want to make you the most positive person in the room. Why is that important? Why do we want to be the most positive person in the room?
Because people are drawn to that.
Yeah, people are drawn to that. Yeah. Hey, don't hate because she's a good student, right? People are drawn to that, and when they're drawn to that, then you get to create what you want with that person. All right. So first things first, we're going to talk about potential. Does everybody understand what potential is? What is your definition of potential? Let's talk about that real quick to make sure we're all on the same page. What is potential?
Potential is whatever you are physically capable of at that point.
It's not what you're capable of at that point, but you're on the right track. What is potential?
It's what you're capable of achieving. You haven't got there yet, but it's...
Yep. Ooh, it was like stereo. You both said the same thing. It's what you're capable of achieving. That doesn't mean that you have the skills right now.
I'm pretty sure there's a glitch in the matrix.
Right? So that's what potential is. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to work to your potential and not your quota. Right? Who assigns quotas?
Boss.
Your boss, your wife, your kids, right? Your friends. Like everyone around you is going to tell you what they think you're capable of, but only you truly know what you're capable of. So we can't let other people's opinions about what we're capable of impact us. Trust your instincts on this one. So if I believed what other people thought I was capable of, we wouldn't be sitting in this building. Because when I took over the karate school, that it was, I had no students, to be honest with you. I had a partner, and that partner told some lies and took all the students with him. And so I had a building, I had mats, I had equipment, I had a desire, but I had 0 students. And people told me that I couldn't do it, but I chose not to believe them. And look what we got to create as a result of that. So you're going to work to your quota. You're going to work to your potential, not your quota, and not compare yourself to other people. Because we're all in different parts on our journey, and that we have to start where we are, and we got to be aware of what we want to get done. All right? Second, shoot for the extraordinary. So, Joe, we get to do this all the time because I'm constantly making them do it in class. But you want to aim above and beyond what you're doing right now. You got to shoot for the extraordinary. Ordinary is being just like everybody else. Who wants to be that? I don't want to be that. Do you want to be that? Is it easier to be that? Yeah, it's easier to be that, but that's not where we want to stay. Okay, we want to go above. We want to do that little bit extra, right? So make a list of the top 5 greatest people in any field. Like in your mind, start, who comes to mind? Justin, go.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Joe, go.
Oh, geez. We talking about actors?
Well, anybody that you think is great, that's gone above and is extraordinary.
Derek Jeter.
All right, Derek Jeter, go.
We can't be friends. I take back everything I said earlier.
Oh my god, what's the name of that guy from Shark Tank? He was on Dancing with Stars. I forget his name, but...
Mark something?
It's Mark?
No, it isn't Mark.
Cuban? Mark Cuban?
No, he's a good one.
He's a good one.
Someone through that, yeah.
Go,
You're talking
Katie.
about the other guy with the hair like yours.
Yes!
The older guy.
Yep.
What's his name?
Oh,
Crazy.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
You don't have to, but just put him in your mind. Katie, what about you?
Oh gosh. I can't think now. My brain. I helped
Oh
you,
my,
now
I
brain
know.
is
Now
away.
she took her time. Matt, what about you?
Somebody extraordinary.
Yeah, who comes immediately to mind? I can't believe you guys are struggling with this. When this past week, we've got the Olympics and we've got like two amazing space things that happen. Sir Richard Branson, right? Bezos from Amazon. Didn't they do, besides what they've done in their other businesses, they've done something else extremely extraordinary with the space thing, right? I don't get it, but that's okay. I don't get, right? So my question to you is, what if they didn't? What if they didn't do that little bit extra? Like, I don't know how I would live without Amazon. Like, I don't know what the world would look like without Amazon. I don't know what that industry would look like if he hadn't did what he did to create and promote that competition and be the leader in that field. So shooting for the extraordinary is something that takes that extra, but that extra is where all the rewards are. Okay.
Started by selling books.
Yep. Started by selling books. That's why I love him, because he is a reader. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Go the extra mile, even after you've satisfied the basic requirements. So adding 10% to everything is discipline yourself to go the extra mile, because you're doing it for you. A lot of times we get stuck thinking when we do something extra, it's for somebody else, but it's not, right? When you do that extra push up, when you do that extra kick, when you do that extra thing, it isn't for the trainer. It isn't for the instructor. It's for you. Okay? So doing that extra 10% is for you. And how often do you experience this as a customer? Where you go? How often do you get someone that goes the extra mile? You don't, right? How can you implement this principle in your life and in your business? And what kind of impact do you think that one thing will have?
It's tremendous.
And then when you do it, how do you feel? When you know that you've gone the extra mile, what does it do for you?
It's a confidence boost.
Yeah, it totally jazzes you up and gets your confidence going. All right. Do what others refuse to do. You got to be willing to get your hands dirty. You have to do the thing that nobody wants to do. And this is where you're going to find the opportunity, right? You're going to find the opportunity for yourself. If you're doing it for your business, you're going to find that opportunity for your business, because if your competitors aren't doing it, there's huge opportunity there. So what do you see that people are unwilling to do?
People are just not willing to take the time to know their customers.
Yeah.
There's no person, person's gone.
So like it's all transactional.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's all transactional. What do you see? What do you guys see?
Even just facial expressions, like everybody's just kind of flat. There's not even like a smile or like that they're even happy to be there. It's just kind of like, okay. there you go.
Yeah, that was my experience at Food Lion this morning. Not only was she training, she wasn't happy that she was training.
Yeah.
And she had nothing positive to say about her life, and she just started work. I mean, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, they just opened, right? So like this is what you're experiencing. So this is where the opportunity is. If you can start highlighting that in your day, you're going to see the opportunities where you can create that difference and be that person, okay? All right. Be willing to fail, knowing that failure is impossible. Now, this is a concept that some people struggle with, because everyone thinks when it doesn't go perfect, it is failure. But it truly is only failure if you give up. It's only truly failure if you don't learn from it and do something better the next time. So if you know that failing's not possible, how is that going to change how you go for things?
You'd be more likely to try something.
Yeah,
If
right.
it's failure, you're going to be more likely to give it a shot versus, well, I'm not going to do it because I'll probably screw it up.
Yeah, and so like we see that all the time with the kids in class, and I'm going to pick on Xavier because yesterday he wasn't that guy. Yesterday he was taking all the risks. He was getting out. He was getting frustrated, but he was taking all the risks. And then like the second to last session he won, because he took some risks and he kept taking risks, right? And so when we get to teach kids that, they're going bigger, they're going more often, they're building their confidence because they're still achieving more than they ever thought that they would, right? So they learn to stay in it, they learn to stay committed to it, and then they learn how good it feels when they're like, oh crap. Like he was like, I am the Titan. I am the Titan, right? After he kept taking those risks. All right. So you got to be willing to fail in order to succeed. I love it. The way that Ray Dalio puts it in his book is that success. Everyone thinks success looks like a straight line, like you start from the bottom and you go up like this, but that's not it at all. Success looks like, an Etch-a-Sketch, if you guys even know what that is, right? An Etch-a-Sketch, like all over the place. You're up, you're down, you're around here, because you got to go, you got to fail, you got to learn, you got to go. Let's not do that again. All right. So that's what you got to be willing to do. All right, you got to be the most dependable person you know, right? We live in a no excuse zone. You got to hold yourself accountable to yourself, to your colleagues, to your family, to your spouse, to your friends. it's so easy to make excuses, right? And I think even in a post-COVID world, it's even easier because like, oh, I didn't get the link. Oh, I didn't get the email. Oh, I didn't see your text, right? But hold yourself accountable and don't rely on anyone else to push you to do what you know you have to do. Like, you know what you said you would do. You know how to keep your word. Don't let yourself make excuses for the things you're not doing because we all know that there's a reason we don't do them. Why?
It's not our favorite thing to do.
It's not your favorite thing to do. You're not comfortable doing it. You didn't even want to do it in the first place, so you should have said no instead of saying yes, right? And these are all things that we can correct, all right? But when you start delivering and you start knowing that you do what you say that you're going to do, what do you think is going to happen to your motivation? Yeah, it's going to go up. It's going to go way, way up. You're going to be, I am the Titan. I am the Titan, right? Okay, perfect. All right. Let people know you're unique by your actions. So set yourself apart. Look for ways that you as the individual can stand out to add value. And like this is all framed in terms of business and customers, but what about to your family? What about to your friends? Not in a gimmicky way, right? So when we're talking about, we're not doing it in a gimmick, but we want to be more like relational, like you were just saying, Justin. We don't want to just be transactional. So how can we add more of ourselves to it? Now, the reason, and I will tell you personally, the reason I didn't do this for a long time is because when things didn't work out, I took it so personal, right? So when you put a little bit more of yourself in it, you do take things more personally. But that is, we have to be personal. We have to be committed to this or we're not going to get it. Right? So that's just another skill that you have to learn to do is to not take it personal, to understand that whatever happened, you were the excuse for them, not necessarily the reason. Right? So like those are the things you want to keep in mind. The things that Grant talks about doing in the sales workshop is like, how can you like text right after you just met someone saying it was great to meet them, or maybe send them a quick video like it was so awesome to meet you, I was really glad we got to get a chance to get together. Like those are things that you might, I've gotten more comfortable with video, obviously, definitely a stretch goal, but just small things that you can do that no one else is going to do. Okay, all right, do those things that challenge you the most, right? This is one, as martial artists, we get to do. But what sometimes, and the one epiphany I had with going to the sales training with this is, Grant would talk about being a master of something, and then I'm like, oh, I am a master of something. Why am I not taking the things it took me to become a 4th degree black belt and putting them everywhere in my life? That was an epiphany for me because sometimes we compartmentalize, right? And we're like, I am this here. And over here I am this, and over here I am this. But when we know where we're great, then we need to be that everywhere. Okay? Until you do it, you're not going to know that you can. The things that I'm stretching and growing on to is I'm walking to business. I'm cold calling. I have not had to cold call for my business in 15 years, maybe 10 years. But I am going into businesses. It scared the crap out of me when I did it this week. I'm not gonna lie. I had butterflies in my stomach. And I'm like, you are mastered up. You are a Titan. You got, get in there, right? We had to have that talk. But when I did it, now, how great do you think I felt? I felt crappy because you weren't doing it too. Yeah, you're right. I did feel that. But I felt like, okay, this is good. This is good. I'm feeling this. I'm getting back into my community. And then I came into the school with a completely different energy.
Anybody else do that bus roll thing?
Well, with every call too, you're getting more confidence that, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, and it's getting easier to talk about. So I'm building that muscle. I'm getting very clear on what I'm having to say. I'm understanding what's not connecting, like the fact that people don't know who Grant Cardone is. Totally a shocker. And the fact that people don't understand, and Joe brought it up to me on our call the other day, that people may not understand martial arts and coaching, right? They may not get that. I didn't realize that because it's so integral to what we do. But the more I do it, the better I get at it, the less challenging it becomes, right? But then now I'm ready to face on the other challenges, okay? All right. Give more than is expected of you. Give, 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 give. Come from that place of abundance, right? Exchange with people in ways that you want. I mean, it goes back to that book. You learned everything you needed to know in kindergarten. Treat people the way you want to be treated. I mean, it's that simple. The law of reciprocity is going to take care of you. And it's hardest to do when you're doing something new. It's hardest to do when you're doing something that you haven't done before. But if you find that place where you uniquely as a person can give, then you're going to just get right into the zone that you need to get into. So I know that the fear of me for this is that people are going to take advantage of me. And to have people taking advantage of me? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is it a huge percentage of the people I've been able to impact? No, it's a small one, right? And so I choose to look at that as my gift, my deposit into the world. So some people are going to do it. Most of the people won't. Most of the people are going to work really hard to give back to you. And give yourself, but don't discount your product. Think of in ways that you can give that aren't discounting, right? It was a natural thing for me for a long time because the karate school got started in that experience. And so I taught an empty room. I taught an empty room pretending I had 15 students. And then I got 1 student, and then I got 2 students, right? So I could give my enthusiasm. I could put everything I had into my lesson plans, everything I had into my training. So give what you can of yourself. All right, now it's your turn. So we're going to give you just a few minutes for this. I think maybe 5 minutes, Mr. Hopper, if you'll put a timer on for this, please. Yeah, 5 minutes. Well, you're going to answer these questions. What is your current quota or your current goal? Do you think your potential is more? And how much more? Now, knowing Grant, we add the 10x multiplier, but if that's too much right now, make it 2x or 3x, okay? And don't lie. You're only going to hurt yourself. So be honest. And then I want you to list the 5 specific areas where you know that you can be more dependable. And then how specifically you're going to start today. Okay, this is the work part. This is the work part. All right, Mr. Hopper's got the timer. All right, ready, set, go.